record that. So I'm gonna record you. Just go ahead.
They have these players that they're developing. Why would you bring him in knowing that he's not one of those guys that can help you develop? He just ain't making. He don't make nobody better. It's all about enriching himself.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. But at the same time, it's like if LeBron goes there, I don't think he's going to necessarily win championships. But with Donovan Mitchell,
And he ain't gonna make him no better either.
yeah, true. But what I'm saying is like I think that he don't want to be embarrassed so much that he don't care about. He wants Kareem record, but Los Angeles pressure is way different. So when you losing, they gonna crucify you. They gonna like literally make you to the point. That's a lot of pressure, like being in Los Angeles.
That's true.
So I think that's going to drive him away to be like, all right, I want to be traded to the Cavs. To the Cavs.
But the Cavs gotta want him. And why would you want him if you got these guys, like I said, they're starting to come into their own. And you're gonna bring him in to do what? He only thing he will add is butts in the seats. Those shots and those opportunities that those guys are getting now, they won't have them because everything that you'll have to change your entire offense. First of all, you got an offense that's pass the ball evenly to everybody, blah, 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 blah. Now you got to bring him in. You have to play the 1-4 because that's all he knows how to play is the 1-4. And so now he's got the ball. Now say Garland has the ball, let's say 45%, 35% of the time. That's going to cut down to maybe 15% because everybody's percentage that they touch the ball is going to go down because now you got to give the ball to LeBron and he's got to initiate all this stuff because now everything is drawn to him. That changes your whole outlook on how you operate your offense. And that affects the coach. Each coach has their own way of playing and coaching and the offense. They have their own philosophy. Now you bring this guy in, he ain't going to learn no new. His ego won't let him learn a new system.
All right, just listen to what you said. You said that put butts in the seats. Now, for the owner, that checks that box for the owner.
Yeah, okay.
And then if you just think, if you bring in LeBron, that automatically, that right there, you got that check that box. Now you have they're going to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, which is already with the league they want anyway. All that will happen if LeBron went back to Cleveland. It'll just be another repeat of what we've been seeing with the Cavs versus Warriors. So I think that's what they will want again.
They may want that, but it'll be the same thing that it'll be how he is with the Lakers. How's that working out for them? It ain't. So you send him somewhere else. You really think that him being who he is and playing the way he does, that's gonna improve their
if you look at the Lakers, him and Russell Westbrook it's a different situation because Russell Westbrook is him. It's like they both the same player. So that's why they can't coexist with each other. And then Anthony Davis, he's just injury prone. And then you bring in Carmelo Anthony. Whereas with
he got all this old guy.
Yeah,
I get that.
So with Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell is younger and he's a scorer. And
okay, he loses opportunities to do what he does best. Everybody has to defer to him. You have to change your entire game, the entire system. Do you really want to do that? Because winning,
I would want for them to do it because I don't want.
You don't want him with the Lakers.
Yeah, I don't.
I get that part, but that's the selfish you. But the realistic you understands that these teams that are starting to develop their young players, if they're going to bring a vet in, they want somebody that can come off the bench, that's good in the locker room, that will coach them up, that will help them. LeBron does not give me that vibe. I could be wrong, but he does not give me that vibe.
All right, so let me ask you
who's
this.
he made better? And
Yeah, he definitely don't make nobody better. But
Yeah.
let me ask you this: if let's say Bronny James and this is a two-part question. All right, one, if Bronny James and Bryce went to the Cleveland Cavaliers, how do you see that situation playing out? And also, if they went to the let's say he does decide to remain with the Lakers, which I don't think he will, but let's just say he do. How do you think it play out both ways? If they both go to the Lakers, or if they both go to the Cavs?
Well, hopefully, well, okay. Well, first of all these things have to work out. Let's say it works out, they end up first round picks, and
or even second round picks, and they just happen to go there.
Okay, and they go to the Lakers. How does it work out? Same way it's working out now. Because one, when they come in there, they will have, I don't care how much time you spend with NBA players and all this stuff, you go from, okay, so they're coming from high school, right?
College.
Well, they got to do 1 year.
1
college.
year.
All right, so
unless you change the rule,
no goodness, don't say that. Don't say that. Let's leave it the way it is. But okay, you play 1 year college. Now you go from playing 32 games in college to 82 games in the NBA. So you got to the travel, the back-to-backs. You're playing with grown men, so they play a little different. Things is a little bit more physical. And I don't care how much you played with them during the summer league. Once the season starts, and especially when you start to get to the end of the season, your body is different. Yeah, you're young and you can absorb a little bit more, but if you ain't used to it, I don't care how young you are. If you ain't never ran 20 miles, you ain't gonna just jump out the gate running 20 miles.
Yeah, true.
So it's gonna.
But their different. Father, supposedly is the most durable and pays $1 million on their body.
That's him.
So you don't think he'd give them the same trainers and stuff like that?
Yeah, he probably would, but he didn't start off like that.
True.
Granted, he was built. They ain't built like him. First of all, he came in as a man child. He was. I give him that.
Yeah, that's true.
He was built.
I ain't never
different.
thought about that.
Yeah, he was built different, but they not built like that. And history has shown you that if the father is a superstar, the kids that come behind him will never match that. But you have a father who was mid-level to, semi all-star, something like that. Their kids turn out to be a whole lot greater. Kobe, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
They surpass their dads in terms of how they play and their how it works out for them. So, that people, the media and ESPN will have you thinking that they are the next great thing coming, and then they get there and see, now that's that pressure that they put on them. The fact that their last name is James.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that now the expectation.
Well, he said he don't like his son being Bronny. He didn't want to name him LeBron Jr. because he'd be, pretty much.
It don't matter. It's his son. His last name. He got the same last name, and so and even if he didn't have the same last name, that's that pressure will be there for both of them. It's gonna be there. You can't.
So you don't think him playing with them eases the pressure a little bit?
No, because he has the expectation level will be high because ESPN will play it as if they're the next great thing coming, and then when they flop, they'll try to figure out a way to spin it.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, so you don't think it'll work?
No, and I don't think him playing with them will work. I don't even think he should play past those the next 2 years.
He definitely won't do it.
Yeah, I know.
You see Tom Brady doing
and
it.
it's going to look like, let's see, let me try to think of somebody who played past their prime and should have got out way earlier.
Shaq.
Yeah, they become a shell of themselves. And you look at baseball, Willie Mays. You see these guys, they old, but they can't let go of the limelight. They can't let go that thing. And that's why sometimes when you see these guys when in their retirement speeches and they crying, because they are truly going to miss. This is something you've done since you were a kid. And you always dreamed of playing at the professional level, at a high level, and then when the reality that your body can no longer do what it used to do, it's got to be a whole different thing. When you realize that you can't do it.
So you don't see no championships for Bronny James and Bronny and LeBron.
I don't know. I don't see no more championships with no team that has his name in the lineup. I don't care where he go. It ain't. It's not going to happen unless he's coming off the bench and he's like a mop-up player.
LeBron come off the bench?
Yeah.
He ain't coming off the bench.
It ain't happening.
I just think, like I said,
I know it won't because his ego won't let him.
I can't see.
Even with the Kareem thing, that outweighs everything right now.
You think he's solely focused on Kareem?
Yes.
You know what I think? I think that he's like I said. I think he don't want to be embarrassed.
I'm trying to say embarrassment right now don't matter. Right now, right this moment, his job, his primary focus is to break that record. Now, after he breaks that record, it'll be something else. It'll be to play with his sons. I'm trying to tell you, embarrassment, to me, my opinion, embarrassment is far from his mind. He's gonna go until he's gonna go, and they're gonna have to drag him off the court. Somebody's gonna have to say, "Bruh, this is it," because you ask him, he can run like a freight train from now until he's 95 years old. Something's drastic is going to have to happen for him to just be like, you know what? Because his skill level right now is going to come to a point where he can't shoot. All he's going to be able to do is drive to the basket.
No, I agree because he super early on, he was very athletic, and now he's getting older. He can't fly past defenders.
Yeah, if he was smart and he could put his ego outdoors, he would play in the post. But because his footwork is horrific, he can't play in the post.
Or if he was smart, he'd go to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Or if he was smart, he would call Akeem Olajuwon and...
Nah, it's too late for that, man.
He could get some kind of... And I say this because the way he's built, he's still got some strength. If he can get some fundamental
But he's too old. He's not going to listen. He's too stuck in his ways.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So when Kobe was open-minded. So
he ain't open-minded.
So early on, let's say in their 20s, that's when Kobe and Jordan went to Hakeem Olajuwon. And that's when they learned. And that was just repetition, just constantly learning and learning. Yeah. And then, but now he already old, stuck in his ways. He's not going to want to listen to Hakeem.
And he probably figure he already know it all.
Yeah. I think the best, if he was really smart, I think he would go to Cleveland and his job would be far less easy.
You're basing it.
It'd be easier because Darius Garland is a freak of he's a great player.
And they got Donovan Mitchell and they got all these other folks.
Like I said, with him, his jump shot is like Steph Curry. You look at it, you be like, oh, it's going there.
Yeah.
You already be like, oh, that's gonna go in.
Yeah, and if it doesn't, you're like, okay, he'll hit the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the deal. First of all, Cleveland's got to want him. You can want to trade him anywhere, but you have to have willing participants. And if I'm Cleveland, I don't want you no more.
But just think of, all right, we said earlier, butt in the seats, right?
No, well, see, winning puts butts in the seats as well. So if you got this young core and they're winning, what do you need him for?
All right, but look, Just imagine your sons being drafted to the same team that you was drafted to. That's gonna put butt in the seats.
That's an ego thing.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna.